Hello everyone, and welcome back to D&D with WhatTeamComp. I'm your host, the Uncommon Guru, back again with this chaotic collective of absolute
How
maniacs.
dare you use that word?
That's why I was giggling. We have, once again, back at it again, Zark Wartz, who's playing as Aurelius, the human paladin.
Allegedly.
Mary, who is playing as Genevieve, aka Fidget, the human fighter.
That part is still true, yes.
Still true for the moment, yes. Paris, who is playing Serenity, the Azamar barbarian.
Every time I'm taking a sip of something when Paris does that.
And Kendall, who is playing as Artemis, our half-elf artificer wizard.
Hello.
Who was in a bit of processing panic and was spirited away by midnight last session in order to ensure that she was kept safe. We had some technical difficulties, so that didn't quite fully show up for some of the bits because I had my whole block had a power outage, which was but
Oh, that's what happened.
yeah. It was like a brief blip in the grid. Like, everyone had a power outage for a second. It was horrific. I was so mad. But we had Artemis sent off with midnight, while the others were going to go cause some mischief, a little bit of mayhem, draw their attention away from the rest of the group who were moving from point A to point B while they went to point C.
Use fire and make them think Artie went somewhere else.
Yes. Along
The oldest trick in the book.
Along the way, they, after getting some attention by, I believe it was, send 2 careening carts that were on fire, courtesy of Ember, into the middle of all of the zombies.
And Maxim.
And Maxim. He was helping, but it was her idea. Knocking some of them over as the undead began to chase after you until eventually you got to a point where you were like, okay, let's just call some of the herd here. It took on quite a few of them, up until a boulder was hurled at you, destroyed several of the undead along the way, crushed Velinor, and then a mysterious humming figure stood up and shot the ones operating the trebuchet, who is moved over, introduced himself as one Randolph. You can refer to him as Randolph Bowman if you wish. Has referred to Aurelius several times as Soldier, and seems to be amicable in assisting you for the moment.
And then Fidget ran away and told Tank where to find her.
Yeah, Fidget ran off before he did any of that.
Yes.
So yeah, Tank is going to split off from the group after a bit, which with his stealth he is able to do so. While the rest of you are still traveling to point C. Thankfully you still have Ember to lead you to where you're supposed to go, because otherwise you guys would not have directions on where to get there, because you'd have only no one who knew where the safe house was. You're like, hey, we're going to call this other collective person. Granted, Ember's probably going to need help quickly, so whatever you're discussing, better to discuss it quickly.
It's not going to be a quick thing with Tank.
I'm aware.
It's not going to be a long thing. That's what I meant. Sorry. Not going to be a quick thing. We're there for the entire session.
Yeah, alright. So I'll just leave the call.
You gotta do that. Just let me go and get some popcorn.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
I'll mute. I'll listen. Occasionally, I'll unmute for unasked for commentary.
Yeah.
I love you so much. No, it's just she's having a moment.
Yep.
Let me also just quickly order an entire Heroes Feast.
I'm gonna bonk you upside the head.
I didn't know you had that
so
kind of money.
Kendall makes the joke and it's fine, but when I make it, you're gonna bonk me.
Because on last time Heroes Feast was brought up, your character somehow didn't get any of the temporary HP.
That wasn't in this session.
Thing.
That's not real. There's no evidence that happened.
Anyways, sorry.
Get fucked.
So you run off towards the alley.
Yes.
And after a bit, Tank shows up.
At this point, the boots of haste have worn off.
A while
she's
ago,
had
yeah.
Yeah, she's had her moment of lethargy. Her hood is down, and she is doing that pacing back and forth with her hands behind her head, trying to calm her breathing. When she sees Tank, she kind of looks up, going,
In Orcish, he says, I know.
"What's he doing here?"
Helping? He looks unconvinced. It is clearly a question.
It's on the other fucking side of Cormundum.
Was. No, is here.
Did I tell you why this is such a problem?
No.
He's working for D'Artez. He was passed a fucking note, Tank.
Has chewing on his lip for a moment. Play it cool. If he betrays us, we throw him through a wall, like we normally do.
You want first dibs on that one?
I think you have dibs. Although Serenity might throw him first if we don't get to him.
I have to explain who he is to the group without him realizing me explaining who he is to the group.
I wouldn't explain who he is to the group until we have a safe space in which we can explain it to the group.
I mean, she kind of motions his spies murmur, going, how well do you think they can play their cool right now?
Serenity can keep her cool sometimes. Aurelius, if he's focused, he's good, but if he becomes unfocused, he becomes unpredictable. And Artemis, well, she's not here right now, so... And you guys just hear this little... Okay, I think we lost him. And both of you look to one side as you see Midnight and Artemis look back to you.
Adi? Completely back to Palman. Adi? Midnight?
Look, so the undead were in the area of sight of the warehouse, and so I had to try and loop around. I realized I wasn't getting anywhere, so I brought her here. You're here sooner than I thought. I thought you were still in the underground.
No, there's a lot of fire out there.
I started to realize that as we were moving, so I tried to move faster. Hey,
They have Midnight. They have fucking trebuchets.
You do realize that's an act of war. Oh no, this is an act of war.
Yeah,
Oh.
they crushed Velinor. I'm surprised he's still alive.
Where is he?
He is being taken by the group, I think, to where we're going.
Well, we should catch up then, yeah? So we can
Yeah.
do stuff together and not be 4 people in a back alley. Let's go. Let's go.
You see very quickly that
going
Fidget
on?
is like
What
pulling
happened?
Fidget is pulling her hood up and activating her smoldering armor, just putting on like as much disguise to herself as she can.
Of course.
As they're walking.
Midnight will quickly explain to you. So we've been... Remember how I said that we needed to make a right turn back there like an hour ago?
Did we keep making right turns?
No, we didn't keep making right turns. We just made a right turn and we kept going straight until we made another right turn. We were supposed to make a left turn a long time ago, but there's a lot of undead. And some of them were in armored carriages, and I for one don't think you wanted to play with them.
While he's talking, Fidget's going to use the spy's murmur to telepathically just say one word to Midnight. And just say Randolph.
He doesn't... You would never guess that you said a word.
Mm-hmm.
He just keeps talking.
Yeah, it's just one of those... It was her giving a warning as she's leading them to find the group.
Yep. You guys are able to, with a little bit of maneuvering, get ahead of the group. as you guys are coming back, you see like Randolph like pause and kind of glance around before squinting at Tank and giving almost like an affirmative nod, and then kind of glancing back to the rest of the group, giving a nod back to them, and just kind of doesn't say anything, just keeps walking with the group. Like, it's a moment of
watch Fidget not talk.
Yep. Like, it's a moment of I didn't catch that. Clever kind of look on his face.
Artemis is just following, giving questioning looks, because she kind of was in a pretty dissociative state almost the entire time they were running.
So catching you up on the bits that you were out for, the undead Danziel procession has been having more army-like structures added to their retinue. And so Midnight said, we're not going towards the army, we're going deeper into the town towards the warehouse we were supposed to head to for the distraction. And we're probably going to have to set that place on fire. And then we're going to make our way to Site B through the underground.
Right, got it. She does not look like she gets it.
What Fidget does, while even though not talking, she's making sure that Artemis is between her and Tank, knowing that there is Midnight probably in front and the rest of the group behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So Artie is still surrounded.
Gotcha.
She is very protective of her friend.
Of course, nothing less. Paris. Perisu.
What did I do? What?
Roll me a d12. Artie, roll me a d6.
Gotta find them.
Whatever it is, I didn't do it.
Yes, you did.
So what if I did?
The immediate tune shift. No, I'm
5.
innocent. Nah, you can't fuck with me on this. Okay. 5. You guys are able to make your way through there. And there's like a couple of different people who like poke their heads out. Then they see fire burning in the city. They see a bunch of just like moving shapes, really. It's not even figures to an extent. And a lot of the people, like, they see your little group and they just seem to be like, let's not ask questions, we push our way back inside and close the doors. We're either not having part of this or we're, going to scuttle along towards the docks and try and stay away from the fire. Thankfully, this causes enough freedom, I wouldn't say cover, freedom is a better word, to make your way towards another warehouse. It almost looks like it's fancier, a little bit more dressed up, but simple. Open the door, everyone slide inside, close the door, routine, slam the slab down, start lighting a few lights to illuminate things. See, again, it's very warehouse-like. It's just got a bunch of different crates and such stacked in places and like, and everyone has a moment to breathe. A moment, if you will. Or not breathe, as some people are concerned.
Fidget has gone to the side and is just watching their new companion.
She thinks already not beelining towards Fidget. You got another thing coming.
Oh, she's making it very obvious what's going on. That she is distressed, but she has not taken her hood off. She has not deactivated her armor, and she has not said a word since rejoining the group.
So she comes within 5 feet of you, And you hear through the murmurs, the spies murmur. I almost said the murmurs whisper. Oh my god. The
You
spies
hear a
murmur.
murmuring whisper in your ear.
It's telepathic, luckily.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
I'm trying so hard not to make this joke.
Luckily, this stuff is telepathic.
Sorry, continue.
So are you gonna explain what's with the sugarcane plantation owner fella, or are we just supposed to watch your death the entire time after booking it at the fastest pace that I have ever seen you run?
Well, first, the fastest pace I've ever run is because the collective hooked me up with some new shoes.
She has like the like approving. Fair enough.
Alright, fair enough.
As for who he is, my dad.
I swear, it's in like it's like how in the cartoons you just hear like the glass shatter in the background. That's the noise that comes with the face she's giving Fidget. Practically hear her bones creak as she turns to look back at this man over her shoulder.
He with the hood up because of the enchantment Crazy gave me. And the armor that smokes and obscures more of me doesn't know it's me. But the moment I start talking, you have to admit, I don't sound like a lot of people.
Quite frankly, you sound like a Southern belle left in the city, but to each their own.
He's been helping you guys. But nobody who knows me from the collective thinks very highly of him.
I wonder why.
You mean the father who didn't want me?
Absolutely baffling.
They should be
Right,
laying out a grand carpet because this man, according to him, used to be higher up in nobility almost. Not the fucking farmer that's standing before you today.
Father's a farmer. What's wrong with being a farmer? They're hard workers. What the fuck is wrong? You know what? Actually, no. I don't want the answer to that question.
Get to know him. You'll understand.
I can't just set him on fire and be done with it.
Because then he'll know something is up. Which is why I didn't tell you guys. Because the moment he came down, y'all would have descended on him. And that would have put more of a target on my back because I ran.
In my defense, I can lie to I just don't like him. He saw me, I'm sure, sprout wings of leather and red and burn people with a pitchfork. I can just say I killed him for fun. But going to withdraw the urge to kill that's steadily rising, that I can feel a victor's tickling.
I'm doing no such thing.
I am very glad that you all call me Fidget. Because I have a feeling the moment he hears his daughter's name that he hasn't heard in over 8 years, who knows what'll happen.
Ooh, can we do a big reveal right as he's about to get hurt? He's going to get hurt. I mean, come on, everyone's been hurt here. He's gotta get hurt.
Well, I'm sure. You know what? You know what? How about you and the others talk to him, see why he's here to help us? And maybe in the middle of it, I'll just lower my hood.
How about that? Alright. I'll give you a signal if I think it's proper, or you could just surprise me. I'm going to go be the blunt little angel that I've always been. She walks away from you, ties up her hair, and directly walks towards him.
In your head, you hear, I always do appreciate that you're the social butterfly serenity.
While the two of you have gone off and had this little chat and such, Randolph will very gently tap on Aurelius's elbow. You think this place is defensible? Enough to hold out, or just a stopping point?
Give me an investigation check real quick. This is a place.
It's got defensible alcoves to it, but there's also a lot of places where things could slip in. It is a large place in terms of defensibility, which will give you an advantage for a while, but it's hard to say whether or not this is a good defensible place. It's a defensible place.
I love Aurelius. Poor idiot.
I'll just say it's defensible, but I'm not sure how long we're actually going to be staying here.
Less time is wise. You have barricades you want set up, or just want to have it look pretty?
Sure, why not? Let's get some some flowers over there. He just starts being an ass.
I love that he looked at Aurelius and went, "Leader, you."
He can see the marks of a soldier, and when you're like, let's get some flowers, be pretty, he kind of pauses, and he snorts softly, and you're unsure if it's a snort of like being derisive, like, oh, come off it, or if he's vaguely like, okay, you're being a shit. I get it. It's unsure whether he's being one or the other. He's like,
it's like, for Aurelius, it's very much a case of he's not really sure what's going on at this point. So he's just kind of like, look, as far as I'm aware, we might as well start making this place pretty. But he's doing it in the most snarky way.
I'd say at this point, Fidget's following behind Serenity as she makes her way over to the group.
Tell you what, I will let you guys just have a visual real quick, so you guys have an idea of where people can be placed and such for such conversing's and the like.
Oh no, not this again. You know I'm bad at keeping track of my own place. All right.
That's not my problem.
I know I said Fidget was in a corner. I'll just say she was against the wall.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Here. He was right about there. So,
come here, Colonel Sanders.
I'll have her here.
I'm finna 5 minutes in the ring. Let me have him.
Let me at him. Let me at him. Fucking Scrappy Doo over here.
God.
I'll knock him. I'll suck him.
I fucking hated Scrappy Doo so much. No, I don't want to be that.
Is that not what you're doing?
No.
That was the least convincing no I've ever heard.
No.
No.
Oh, shit. Why is Aurelius off center on my face? On my face? Oh my god, on my computer screen!
I don't know why he's off center. I moved him on center.
No, I saw him get fixed, and then my computer decided to fucking move him a centimeter to the left, and I'm angry about it. Off.
There were people on the screen?
At the very
there
bottom.
They are.
Yep.
If you want to move I'm sure you're next to midnight.
I'll be back.
I'm not here.
What?
Artemis has buried themselves under a blanket.
Didn't you come with us into the warehouse with Midnight?
Yes.
Yes, but I'm not on there.
Yeah, you can put yourself on there.
Okie doke.
If you want, you can be next to Fidget and Midnight.
Yeah, that's probably where she's going. She's very confused.
Understandable. Do I see Aurelius looking cheeky, or is he doing all of this smartassity just stone-faced?
It's Aurelia's stone-faced smartassery. You know it is.
Sometimes he looks cheeky, but
To you.
You're
Fair
looking
enough.
at the wrong cheeks.
they're both just as good. Oh, wait. This is such a stupid question. I'm sure I've forgotten, and you said it. How tall is Randolph?
Like
He's
6'3".
3.
Okay, so they literally are eye to eye.
Uh-huh.
So she just walks up to him, taps him on his shoulder, crosses her arms over her chest, and waits until he turns around.
He gives Aurelius a moment. I'll say that with Aurelius having stepped away for a second, being Zark stepping away, he kind of grunts softly and glances at you over his shoulder.
You know, usually it's kind manners to turn around when someone is trying to get your attention.
Usually, but I'm trying to keep my chest to the door as much as possible. No offense meant.
8 other people who are looking at the door. I'm sure that you can turn around for 5 seconds.
He looks away from you towards the door.
Like he's actively ignoring me?
No, like he's ignoring you saying that other people are keeping eyes on the door.
Excellent.
And as you can tell, Fidget's just slinking closer and closer to Serenity.
Dawn, what kind of roll do I make to force him to turn around?
I'll say an athletics check.
Watch me roll on this shit. Or not.
Saying.
Okay. So you wrench him around.
Thank you for your kindness. I want to know who the hell you are again and why exactly you're helping us, despite the fact that... Aren't you, like, collective? Shouldn't you be against us at this moment? In other words, I'm bluntly asking, what the fuck is your agenda?
Paris, you do not see this.
He about to stab me! Let's go!
Hold on. You do not see this. I need to make that as clear as I can.
Alright.
You do not see this.
Okay.
Fidget, with you moving up towards him, when he gets grabbed by her, the way he sleight of hands it is smooth, and you forget for a second that those calloused hands worked fields, and you see him as another fighter sort, but he doesn't swing immediately. He's just in his hand at the ready for a second, and when she says that, he slowly like pushes it back up as though just be like, okay, now I understand now. I don't like it, but I understand. As he just seems to put it away. But you see that he was all too, like, it wasn't even like an all too ready. It was like he was grabbed and he was expecting violence. He wasn't expecting rudeness.
Man was expecting me to just sock him in the face. Let's go.
He didn't know what to expect from you.
I mean, understandable. I'm not saying he's wrong.
Bless you.
Jesus.
That's a sneeze.
That was dark, wasn't it?
Yep.
I even moved my microphone away.
You are loud and violent.
Oh,
I'm just Australian.
I really don't understand what difference you're trying to convey here.
I'm just Australian.
Oh, that's perfect.
Mwah. Magnifique.
Sorry. Man was trying to say I'm back and instead exploded his nostrils.
Oh, we are in rare form tonight.
I love us.
I've missed
Anyways.
this. He again, he takes a moment and he seems to be processing before he finally kind of leans forward just a little bit. Not invasively, not threateningly. It appears that you are indeed misinformed. and jumping to rapid conclusions already. Let me go. Please.
Feel free to enlighten me, Elder. She's loosened the grip, but it's clear of like, I want answers.
Yeah, you listen to the grip, and he kind of reaches up and he gently like pushes your hands down. And he takes like a half step back, not where you couldn't still reach him, but like I'm getting some distance so we're not like nose to nose.
All right.
As I said, my name is Randolph. In this current respect, you might call me a hunter. I don't know what well, all of what you were talking about. I only know surface level what this collective business is about. I'm not here for that. I was paid for something else. As for why I'm helping you, he gives like this almost half shrug.
You don't even know why you're helping us.
I see a war.
Little fancy.
I see a war. And while I'm many things, I know the wrong side when I see it.
While he's talking, Fidget's to the side of him. Because he's looking directly at Serenity. Fidget has deactivated her smoldering armor and lowered her hood and is still staring at him.
Oh, right. I should let other people see this as well. Let's get everything, make sure everything was set up. And by that I mean
Just felt like a second early, so I'm like, I have to say this.
But yeah, Fidget has made it so she hasn't said anything. She hasn't announced she's standing there because he and Serenity are talking.
Right.
But she has come completely out of her disguise.
Do I spot him notice? Because I love you to death. There's no fucking way I don't see you lower that hood with the fucking red eyes.
Oh no, she's not being subtle about it. It's just she knows that more of his attention is on you than it would be on her at the moment.
Enough that he doesn't notice you for a bit. Unless you clear your throat or something.
Nope, Serenity's still talking to him.
Yep.
She's just standing there.
Tilts her head. And what exactly are you hunting?
A locket. And a book.
That means you're against us then, huh, Dad?
He looks to you, and it's the look of he sees you, and it's hard to put emotions on this man's face. Slightly raised eyebrows, quickly furrowed, a look to the side of contemplation, trying to process that, looking back, eyes still furrowed, not quite angry. You've seen him angry.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not sure what his emotion is here.
Do I get a high, Pops? Anything? After 8 years, I don't get a high?
Pardon me. I needed to not be a smartass and say, "Hi, Pops."
I know.
the immediate asshole of me would want to be like, "Hi, Pops."
Yeah, no, I knew that. That's why I said it, because it meant the DM had to not be himself for a moment.
Would you have to fucking absolutely nerf yourself because you have a story to tell?
I'm aware. I just need to breathe.
You know how to breathe?
I don't know how
Barely.
to.
Barely.
I haven't heard of
Interesting.
breathing in years.
I'll take note of that.
Breathing. I remember breathing. I always hated it.
Sorry, continue.
But yeah, there's no smile, no happiness on her face when she's saying this to him.
What did you do to your hair?
Wow, that's really the first thing that you say after. Wow, you're bad at this.
To be fair, Serenity, I used to be able to sit on my hair.
So short. Your mother would spend an hour making sure it was clean, and it's practical.
Cut it
Actually,
when I
I
went.
figured.
I cut it when I had to run.
That's out of character.
That laugh.
No, the oof.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Cerny's got a little more tact.
Well, hello. Are you here to cause me problems, or...
Well, see, that depends. You said you're here hunting for a locket and a book.
One's for me, one is for a...
It's for Dantes.
Which one?
The locket, probably.
He seems to process for a moment. And then he sees he processes, and then he just kind of like shakes his head like, I was aware of that. I didn't realize that you knew who had taken it.
Yeah, I took it. Off of Teddy, after he tried to kill me.
Well, as with all things that Theodore does, he failed. That's about right.
Survived that, by the way. She's looking at Fidget now like, wait, I just processed that.
Yeah, it hit me out of character. That's just like a whoa, that's fucked up.
Which bit?
He failed apparently, like he usually does. That since she's still alive.
Yeah,
does.
he tried to kill you and he failed.
Yeah, it's just the way he worded it made it sound like what a shame.
God damn.
Yeah, see, Locket ain't his no more. Locket ain't Dantes' no more.
It's his possession.
You forfeit the right to have your possessions after you try to kill someone, but usually that's the prison sentence talking.
He gives you this look like, I'm sorry, what law are you? And he just but then he kind of just exhales and just shakes his
In my
head.
defense, the last 10 years have been in the clergy, where they confiscate everything.
That's why you don't join the clergy. You know, your brother apparently has run off to find gods or whatnot, and apparently he's having to learn the hard way about what sort of stuff you lose when you go into those places. I tried to warn him, just as much as I warned you.
Went to the clergy?
Oh no! Oh boy, which one?
He hasn't informed you? I haven't been able to check
I
in
haven't
on
talked
him.
to any of you in the last 8 years. And it's not like I've been at a Corvin for 6 of those.
He looks, again, confused. You haven't been in contact with your mother?
I haven't been in contact with any of you after I practically got kicked out of the house.
She said she was keeping an eye on you.
I haven't seen her.
It sounds like a lot of lies on top of a lot of worry.
He steps back for a moment and he paces. Not a nervous sort of pacing, a more trying to connect dots.
She looks at Fidget. I want to trip him.
Let him think.
No, it's not because it's him. It's whenever people do this, I have this urge.
It's just, I understand if you need to go torment Aurelius.
Meanwhile, Artie,
You
Aurelius...
see Aurelius talking to Tank and fucking Velinor over here.
Yep.
She keeps tripping me whenever I do that.
Oh, which reminds me. No, I'll bring that up later. That's a thing that that Artemis can learn later. But yeah.
That is so ominous. What the fuck, man?
Later. Velinor just nods and glances to the rest of the group and then looks back and is just like, do you all mind if I...
Come here. Come here.
I don't think Velinor
You said Velinor,
yeah,
right?
Velinor's saying this, yes. And he's like, the point of me being here is to assist you all. And you're not hurt, right? Please tell me you weren't get hurt. And
I didn't get hurt. I was told you got hurt.
I'm asking right now if people mind if I start the healing process.
You see Aurelius, please.
I could use a little, please. Just a cup's worth, please.
1d8.
May I have some healing, Father?
Yes, you may.
Really said, I'm tired, Coach.
Velinor takes the stance he normally does and moves his hands up, thumbs to the either side of his brow as he normally does, and extends his hands into the stag-like image as the aura of the spirit totem spreads out. Number of hit points equal to your druid level. So, the minimum he can give to people in the aura should be 70.
70 total?
Without him casting... He's casting a spell... He would have to cast a spell each turn or have to heal each turn, I believe. Let me see. If you cast a spell... So yeah, if he had 10 spells to cast, he could do that, but he doesn't. So he's trying to figure out which spell to use. He's probably going to use Aura of Vitality.
That's a good one, because it stays on you for a while.
Oh, yeah. Which means I'm going to roll... God damn, how do I do this?
How do you want to do this?
Does anyone else need healing?
I am 100% okay.
Suri hasn't noticed that she's injured.
Aurelius has noticed she's injured.
How injured are you?
I'm not bloodied. I'm missing 33 hit points.
Artemis is looking around a little frantically.
You're right, Raccoon?
I have a video to send now that he's called her that.
Artie's got a nickname.
I'm sorry, what?
Aurelius called you, said, "Are you okay, Raccoon?"
Why am I Raccoon?
Calm down.
You little hands, you little peepers.
Okay.
He gives himself...
Are you okay?
He gives himself 31 hit points. Aurelius, you get back
Physically or
32. Serenity, you get back 22.
I mean, she just looks at herself. Huh? When and how?
Why do I see the fucking Bakugo face?
What the fuck are you looking? Huh? What?
On you, it's Serenity's doing the Bakugo face.
You're gonna have to be civic. He pulls a lot of them.
You know he'll put it in the voice chat when he finds the right picture.
Yeah, that is
He's
how
quite
much he's able to
quite
heal you
impressive.
with a use of Aura Vitality. Great fucking spell. He will ask if anyone needs further healing.
Oh, so darn.
It's in the
Oh
chat.
my
on Roll20.
Not inaccurate.
Perfect.
Ever since Sark figured out how to do gifts in Roll20, he finds the perfect reactions for it.
I love how much time they took to animate each spike of his fucking hair.
Not only that, but it loops perfectly.
I mean, that is essentially the face she's making for it. It's like, alright, someone healed me. Which one did it?
Valinor over there with antlers glowing as he is using Aura of Vitality.
Weren't you crushed by a rock? Why are you healing me?
I am healing
He's
you.
healing a bit of everyone. He says, Aurelia says, before turning back to Artemis. I'm fine mentally. Are you okay? You look stressed. Do you need a hug? Or some water? I don't have water. I can give hugs.
Aurelius and Serenity, you both get back an additional 7 as he is going to heal himself for an additional 16.
Jaden, what the fuck? Hi. Alright, so. Damn it! I wanted a scar!
I'm sure you'll still scar. Your
Pouting.
own personal
Serenity over
stubbornness.
here wanting to be spooky now.
I want to be spooky. I want to look warm. No.
You're
Never mind.
edgy.
Alright! Those are fighting words! I'll throw you down right here. Right out. Come here.
It's obvious that Fidget is trying very much to just
Instigate.
keep things light, but her eyes have not left Randolph.
Aurelius is doing the disappointed dad face at both of you.
Good.
Artemis has returned to looking over at Valinor to see if he is still injured.
He's only slightly still injured.
He's just a little crispy. It's still good. It's still good.
He no longer looks like he got crushed. Granted, he still has the splint on his leg as the magic helped him with everything else, but for the time being until his leg heals, he has a -5 to his movement speed. The magic won't mend that. It'll keep him from hobbling too much, but he will still have that for a bit. Because if I remember, he might have rolled a natural 1 on that save.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, he has come out of that with an injury.
Yeah, Aurelius is actively looking around for a stick of some kind for him
Do you want me
use
to
as
make a
crutch.
split for that? I can do that.
Already done that.
He'll
Adi
motion
could
for you
probably
to...
give him an upgraded one.
Yeah, he'll motion for
That's
you to
true.
help. Yeah, let you busy your hands effectively.
Yeah, because she is panicking a little bit because she dissociated so hard that she did not absorb any of what was happening around her, and that doesn't usually happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
It was bad.
You see Aurelius is like really shoddy military style, like fucking splint around his leg.
Found 2 chunks of wood off a fucked up cart.
Pretty much.
Artemis will look it over and just kind of look over at Aurelius and give it an approving nod. That's good for the time that you had.
Look, I know you can do a better job. I'm gonna find something to help him walk as a crutch, like a big stick. He says, he walks away.
Why not a quarterstaff?
I don't have a quarterstaff, and a quarterstaff is a big stick.
We're also in a place where the collective probably has weapons that'll give them to you, Aurelius. Go find that one lady that was wanting to
She's not here.
break you. Okay.
I mean, or
She's in the
you
other
could
one.
do this and fucking Serenity pulls a quarterstaff off her back.
How long have you had that?
I have had this for so long.
You've
I just
never
don't use
used it once.
He's at it since he's bonked Fidget upside the head multiple times.
Why would I ever use it when I have a great sword?
Then why even have it?
Back up in case someone takes the great sword.
Then just fucking pick up whatever's nearby.
I'm not good with whatever's nearby.
He's
Learn.
suggesting throw people at each other, I think.
You just hear Tank goes, you not?
I can't just pick up a stool and artfully smash someone's head in, unfortunately.
It's
And you're not
easy!
very good at using stool.
I'm going to... You!
Artemis is just going to go ahead and start
Reassembling,
taking
yeah.
apart, reassembling the splint that
yeah.
he made.
Yeah.
This whole time, by the way, Aurelius is looking for something suitable for him.
Make investigation check. I'll say with advantage just because you have the time.
Okay.
There we go.
Go.
So you'll be doing that for a little bit. As you're having these kind of more lighthearted, slightly not jovial, but like, I want to say ambivalent, but I don't know if that's the right word. Soft.
Banterous.
Banterous. Gandalf does come to a stop, and he just watches. And then he looks back and he just kind of locks eyes with you, Fidget.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks back to everyone and back to you. And he looks away, and for a brief moment, "12 seconds, maybe even 20. There's a whisper, a ghost, a shadow of a smile on his face. And then he goes back to pacing.
It will move closer to him after a moment and just, what did you mean that Mom was watching after me?
Pauses and he looks at you. Looks back to the door. I mean, she said that she was looking out for you, keeping an eye on you. I figured that when she went to the market, she was meeting with you in secret. Trying to keep my ire off you and trying to keep it on her. I stopped being angry after the first couple of days and was more upset you hadn't come back at that point, and I just let her do what she wanted, as I figured you were going to need to spread your wings and do something. Wasn't sure what.
Well, you know, you did make it kind of obvious that you didn't need me around since you had your perfect golden son that you always wanted with Seth.
Mind your tongue.
Prove me wrong.
He looks like he wants to form words to say something. But he also seems to be just smart enough to not just throw words out. And he keeps almost biting his tongue when he thinks of something that he's like, that he'll do it, but something's probably off in his mind about it. He just keeps biting his tongue until he just kind of like growls and goes back to pacing.
That's what I thought. Fucking coward. And she moves and sits down at a table.
Those are crates.
She sits on the crate. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We go!
She's on the crate. There.
Aurelius, as you investigate, you eventually pop open some of the crates to see what's inside. They seem to be building parts, building tools, things of that nature, pushed into hay bales and whatnot. After a little bit of time, you actually pop one open, look inside. There's, again, an assortment of different tools that are likely meant for construction, but one of which does look to have like almost like a smooth 2x4, something that's probably like meant to be something that would hold up a building. You pick it up and you're like, this would make a good quarterstaff, a good like walking stick sort of thing.
Like, close enough, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he'll bring that out. Do any of the tools look like they'll actually be useful to us?
You could use it to help set up a barricade. Because right now the door's just kind of there with a bar over it.
Yeah, no, he'll grab that. And once he's given the definitely not quarterstaff to man who needs quarterstaff, those are their real names. He's gonna look around and see if anyone else is gonna like doing anything, and then he's just gonna get started on building the barricade. If people help him, they help him.
Randolph helps you. And Tank helps you.
After a moment of, because Serenity's trying to help Fidget, obviously, calm down. But honestly, Fidget's most calmed down when she feels useful,
I'm to work.
and she goes down to help.
Oh, there she goes. All right, fine. I guess it's time of the girls showing up the boys again, isn't it?
You're under Aurelius.
That's not where he is on my screen. He's over here.
He moved there.
But it was really funny. You slid over and just disappeared under Aurelius.
Just lift him out the way.
Cha-cha,
I didn't realize you were doing that kind of scene, but okay.
As Fidget walks over,
Mm-hmm.
Aurelius will like underhand toss her a hammer.
She'll catch it.
Yeah. And then he'll realize that he threw the hammer a hammer.
I'm no longer a hammer. She'll, like, when he has that look, going, I'm not a hammer no more.
Okay.
You
That
will,
makes this less weird. He's gonna keep going.
The
Technically,
joke's still there. It's just late.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he didn't throw a hammer to Tank, and Tank used to be a hammer too. So?
No, I did throw a hammer to Tank.
Tank doesn't need a hammer. Look at his fists.
Still, like, helpful.
The hammer looks
Look.
a little small in your hand there, big guy.
And this is kind of Aurelius showing his wisdom. If you have a tool, use it, and if it stops you from taking harm, it is useful. It does not mean that the harm that potentially comes to you, or the ability to use and create without a tool, is not. Wait, hold on. You see him like fucking die halfway through the sentence.
I'm
Wait.
100% sure that was going to be nice and philosophical, but unfortunately, I am too tired to realize that. What?
We let Aurelius keep talking, and he couldn't find the end of the conversation.
That's called losing yourself in a sentence, and I do that somewhat frequently. You poor thing.
Look, the long and short of it is, while it is useful to have hands that can do such work, if you have a tool, it prevents harm from coming to the backup tool.
Man's got big meaty claws. I really doubt it'll hurt him. She's looking for a hammer.
Aurelius fucking like narrows his eyes and is like,
She's being cheeky. You know she is.
yeah, I figure as much, but the kind of like narrow-eyed Billy there.
Really asking, really? Are you really wasting energy?
Artemis is watching from the back, not helping with this.
You're helping Valinor.
Yeah, she's helping Valinor, and once she's done helping Valinor, she's not helping with the barricade.
That's okay.
I mean,
You have
to be
other
fair-
people that'll keep you company.
But
Yeah,
she's
I was
just
just
kind of watching and looking up at over at midnight. What did I miss?
Well, me or him?
What?
Midnight asks, me or him? And Villanor kind of like looks between the two of you like, with us?
My mind went to a place and I couldn't get it back till
Recently.
10. Yes. So,
We tried to send you to a safe house to try and keep you safe. And then we were going to lead the undead group away and make them think we were leaving the city, and then head back to you. Along the way, we caused a bit of pyro commotion and fought some undead and met apparently Fidget's father, who has some manner of bad blood between them. Haven't caught all of that yet. Something about perfect son. Her
he's a
leaving.
negligent dick.
Words sharp, I'm sure, but you always are more to the point than I am.
Was there anything else?
Did he hear the part about her little brother and the clergy?
I think she heard that part. Oh wait, no, you're at the door. I mean, her brother has something to do with joining the clergy? Finding gods or something like that? Something to that effect. I don't know how relevant it is, but...
Oh no. Okay. So, her brother is... Ooh, oh no. Okay. That's probably going to be either easier or difficult to deal with. I'm not sure right now. Need more data. You can see that she's kind of calculating in her head. It's like lolling her head from side to side.
Process carefully. This is unknown territory for a lot of us.
Yes. I'll need more data before I can come to a conclusion. But these undead, they're here for me. Or what I have.
So
That's why you set these fires.
Yes.
Right. Got it. And she's gonna go dive for her book, for her bag. Start digging in it. And pull out that journal, the notebook, and the translations.
Okay. I imagine you're trying to look through it to see what you can find out.
Yeah, and she's also showing them what's being chased for.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Plenty.
With the
30.
20, you're able to find and put a little bookmark in the place where you found before that had some of the details that you think this is involving. You flip through a few different bits. As you're going through it, you do note that there was a point that you copied it the way that it was copied from the original book, which was it had something written. It was underlined and then circled and then question marked. as it mentions that one of the ways to avoid the ritual is for one from amongst the abyss to seek a hand in marriage. And it just has this confused, what?
And she's seen this hand in marriage before. It doesn't mean actual marriage, right?
As far as you're aware, yes. It's just this little blip that you note amongst some of this, that it is mentioned about avoiding the ritual, a way to not have to do the ritual.
So, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. So, avoiding the ritual is to have the hand in marriage, or is the
Yes.
hand in marriage the ritual you're avoiding?
No. The hand in marriage is to avoid having to go through the other ritual that you found, which requires a lot of other steps that you haven't fully understood because it is arcane understanding that you are not at the level of yet.
Okay, and what is the relevance to this?
It's something that you note. Something to bring up that you are aware of, and you're like, okay, this is something that was brought up as part of stuff after and before it. Like, it was brought up once before and once after. But only says that one demon lord has been looking into it.
Aurelius, can you come over here for a moment?
He's still banging on the barricade.
He'll rock up.
Do you recall what hand in marriage means in reference to demons?
Aurelius looks to his hand. You remember... Can't remember... Alright, out of character, before I say this, I want to make sure Aurelius does know this, because you mentioned it earlier in this session. When Aurelius's arm and legs were taken, you mentioned a wedding, right?
I mentioned a hand in marriage.
Right. What was the demon related to that?
The Lady of Death.
Lady of Death. Alright. So, on top of that, I'll roll a religion check just to cover my bases. See if Aurelius recalls anything beyond that, because the fact that I remember that is a fucking miracle in itself. So generally speaking, when it comes to hands in marriages and demons, in terms of that terminology, is there a direct translation from Abyssal, or like, is there a kind of specific connotation that comes with that?
Not that you're aware of. Especially since the fiends don't have a word that specifically translates to marriage. The closest thing that you've heard would be something akin to possession, which is very on brand with fiends like that.
So Aurelius will basically relay that, as far as I'm aware, demons don't have a specific word for marriage, per se. If we're going for a more direct translation of Danir, it'd be possession. To own a person, basically, is the closest equivalent that there is. However, you did mention at some point, I can't remember if it was you or if I figured it out, that my arm and leg was taken for some kind of marriage for the demon of death. He's like, you see, he's trying to like make sure he's not messing up his details to the
I'm
best of
nearby
his
when I hear
ability.
this.
You're at the door making the barricade currently.
Okay, I wasn't sure if Aurelius had moved.
Yeah,
No,
Aurelius did move. He moved over to
Okay.
Artemis.
Hold on. There, he's nowhere near anyone. I threw him too far. There we go. So yeah, he basically translates that, and he's starting to make connections between. He actually presents the theory that the two groups of demon worshippers are not separate cases. There is something more going on.
And Artemis would go and just gesture to the journals and stuff. I keep coming back to this one way of avoiding some ritual. I don't know how the ritual is relevant, but it keeps coming back to a way to avoid it by giving your hand in marriage.
Can I have a look? Maybe there's something I can
Sure.
gauge from this.
And she'll
Would
kind
it
of
be-
push over her translations.
Would it be an investigation check?
Investigating the book?
More or less trying to figure out that, like, more specifically what this, like, what Artemis has translated would translate to in an abyssal language to figure out,
A religion check.
okay, like, kind of specifics relating to rituals and shit. Yeah, that'd be religion.
16.
I'm starting to think that Aurelius got a above average grade in religion.
At least above average, you know.
Make some shit fall off his whoops.
As you do, casually, of course. So you're able to go over it, and for the most part, the translation is pretty well done. You'd say that Artemis has been doing her due diligence. There's maybe like one or two things that might need a little bit of going over and such, but for the most part,
when he sees anything that doesn't translate directly into abyssal, he'll make a note of it, but also note that the translation that Artemis has put forth is acceptable so long as she understands the direct translation. Does that make sense?
This is a first draft translation.
Yeah. So, like, he's putting the notes down so that there can be improvements, so that there is a better understanding of it. But again, he is kind of looking for any mistranslations in relation to the ritual, the marriage, and everything like that.
it's definitely something that you're going to want to look over more later.
All right.
So,
So, the information you're able to glean between the two of you is that the ritual is something that requires great sacrifice. It doesn't say of what, though there are implied options. The flesh of 1,000, 600 unborn, 10,000 memories. Little things like that.
yeah, just little things.
Little things, obviously.
These are the exact words that Aurelius says, by the way. Little things like that.
Yes.
Because from his perspective and what he knows, those are little.
The main problem with something like this, a ritual like this, as it is that it requires powerful magic to hold together such a thing, and it mentions, almost offhand, that such a thing draws the eyes from above.
So this would draw the attention of gods.
Effectively.
Could be gods, it could be something else. At this stage, it's too early to really confirm, but whatever it is, it's worth taking note of. What's something powerful enough that would draw the attention of...
You're getting far away. Can you get closer to your mic?
I'm doing the thing again, aren't I?
A little bit, yeah.
Or you drift while you think, yeah.
Yeah. He's
It's endearing.
basically what he's doing is he's like, what kind of magic would be powerful enough to draw the attentions of any being powerful as a god? And you see him start like pacing in thought, and then stops and looks over to Serenity to make sure she's not looking at him. Trying to trip him up.
Artemis is
He's
going to
staring at
kind
you.
of Artemis is going to kind of touch one of her clocks, like subconsciously, and tap her fingers a little nervously. It could be the reopening of the portals. What Gadai has us doing? Releasing
Maybe.
him?
That is relatively powerful, but is it powerful enough to draw the attention?
You're getting away again.
No, that's just me getting quieter. Effectively, what he's kind of saying is that magic is powerful, but is it powerful enough to draw the attention of the gods or any being beyond, really? And if it's not the portals opening, then what? There's a lot of questions here unanswered. There's more information needed.
Alright, well then we can figure this out later.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure they want this. And she kind of gestures at the journal and
Oh yeah, absolutely. Which means we'll need to transcribe it somewhere else in the event that they do take it.
I have it fully transcribed. I just need to do a revision.
He kind of like puts a hand on Artie's shoulder and just kind of goes, "Nice work, big brain." And just goes back to the rest of the crew.
Just kind of stares at him and looks over at Midnight and then back over at him.
Do you deal with this sort of thing often?
Yes, but I'm really confused by it now.
Bye?
I'm not really sure.
So you're just confused.
Yes. Once I get... I don't usually disassociate for that long. It's taking a little while for everything to recalibrate, and there's a lot of information.
Do you want to lay on the ground and stare at the ceiling for a bit? I heard that helps.
Would that be productive?
Would you being more focused be more productive?
I'm not sure where to focus right now.
Start by figuring out where to focus. Lay on the ground, stare at the ceiling. When you know where to focus, you'll be good.
She just kind of gives him a wary look before slowly laying down on the ground and staring at the ceiling.
After about a minute, you just hear... I mean, he said it weird, but he's right, you know.
And she just kind of says back in her head, what kind of magic would draw the attention of gods?
Okay, look, I know a little bit about magic, but I wasn't that strong in magic, so I'm just as confused as you are. I'm figuring it out too, so just...
I'm sorry, I don't have anything for you to hit.
I'm incorporeal!
While I'm thinking about it, I'll do an Arcana check just in the back of his head while while doing shit, in order to like see, like, he's trying to figure out what kind of magic would draw the attention of powerful beings.
Yep.
If anything in particular.
And Artemis would also like to do an Arcana check, but it's
Roll.
private, and I will DM you what it is about.
Go ahead. Ooh.
Aurelius did not skip magic class.
Based off of the arcane information you were taught, it would require... it wouldn't require unanimous. It would require a number of people using the same type of magic. An example of that being a lot of people channeling divine magic, a lot of people channeling arcane magic, a lot of people channeling nature magic. All people unified in channeling one type of magic. If there's one person out of place, that person messes with the whole thing. And a cult, well, a cult tends to be drawing upon evil energy, but divine energy all the same. And that's usually pretty unanimous.
I imagine the people people around Aurelius would see him just kind of stop for a second and like, ah, shit.
Arcana?
Arcana.
Oh, nat 20.
Yo.
So I want to say this. You would know what you did not draw attention.
Okay.
So you are safe in that respect. However, the creation of them, before you ever got your hands on them, to do something so intricate, the fact that it didn't draw attention is also slightly suspicious, in that it means that it took a long time to make it to prevent it from being caught, if you will. Too long for most,
But not
less
elves.
long-lived. Yes. Halflings, more unlikely, but possible. Gnomes the same. Dwarves, it would take almost an entire lifetime to do. Elves definitely could, although you recall that the name was Ovina Windjaw, a dwarf, so it would have taken all of their life to make one. You don't have just one.
And if I can go off of that,
Yep.
would these attract this kind of attention
It
once
would
pulled away from where they are?
It would certainly attract attention due to the fact that souls are very powerful, and when they're not attached to a body which is, being powered by the soul, well, that means it's just free real estate in terms of energy. And, well, all that energy, if someone was trying to use it, that could be pretty bad.
Got it. Oy vey. Yeah, Artemis is just spinning her wheel, staring at the ceiling, fiddling with one of her clocks. Looks like she's muttering to herself under her breath. Not really anything audible, but or anything coherent, because it's just nonsense. Looks like her mind's going at a million miles an hour.
Man's thinking in fucking Slim Shady.
What was that?
Man's thinking in fucking Slim Shady.
But yeah, that's what Artemis is doing.
Gotcha.
How's the barricade looking?
It's looking pretty good. You've had enough time to start slamming together bits of it, as well as to even have bits where you guys are building up the barricade over the windows with enough space that you can see out. As it is, you can see the shapes of the creatures, the entities moving in your direction, but they're not. You still got some time. Probably, honestly, you've got at least at minimum until sundown, and even then, you probably still have some time.
Alright. I guess since the main barricade is looking good, Aurelius will start boarding up any auxiliary stuff lying around.
Okay. Anything you want to be doing, Serenity? Fidget?
Imagine she's just talking to Fidget and help him where she can.
Fidget is almost non-responsive at the moment. And it's not due to anxiety, it is due to absolute sheer anger.
Just spoken through the spy's murmur.
What did you say? You cut out just a little bit.
She asked, do you want me to ask him about which clergy, considering?
Oh, that's not the part I'm angry about.
You want to explain which one? Because there was a lot that you could be angry about, which I don't know which specifics.
Oh, the fact that apparently my family knew where I was. the entire time, and nobody wanted to talk to me. Nobody tried to reach out. I never left my hometown until 2 years ago, and I left home 8 years ago. So that kind of tells you what I'm kind of pissed about.
As you're saying that, Tank has a thoughtful expression.
What is it, big guy?
He'll speak this through the spy's murmur so that Paris can hear it in the fluidity of him speaking rather than in a broken common, as well as to prevent anyone else from hearing.
Okay.
I had a thought.
Okay. And what do you think was going on?
You remember what the big problem that we had was?
You're gonna have to be more specific. We did kind of have some problems that kind of followed us, unless you mean D'Artez.
I mean D'Artez, yes.
Okay.
D'Artez didn't like us. D'Artez intentionally withheld money from us. A lot of money.
Was yours as bad as mine?
He nods slowly.
Noted.
Maybe I'm missing a few things, or maybe I'm just confused, out of character, because I'm stupid. But someone want to elaborate?
D'Artez withheld things from us. And most things would at some point either go through him or he would send someone out to prevent or alter things, to make certain people's lives harder.
Hank and mine were quite a priority.
Yeah. My thought being, what if they didn't come speak to you in person? Your mother is the one he said knew where you were.
Uh-huh.
What if they sent messages, letters, and he stopped them from reaching you? And so she thought you didn't want to speak with her.
Here's the problem, Tank. If she had sent letters, I wouldn't have been able to read them. Because D'Artez didn't want me to learn to read.
There's also another potential option.
I'm trying to think of this as logically as I can. What's your thought?
Well, it's magical in origin. I never knew how, but the clerics always knew how to find me before I disconnected from certain places.
Are you saying that's why my little brother went into the clergy?
No, I'm saying maybe your mother has some kind of magic where she can watch you.
My mother
Did
was
say she was magical.
She was a bard. So.
Trinity gives like a one-shoulder shrug. I'm not exactly archaically designed. And Tank is choking. I hear dog calling.
I am trying to drink water and not die. One of these
You're doing
things.
a bad job.
I'm drinking water and dying.
Stop breathing while you're drinking.
This is why breathing is a weakness. Cease your breathing.
Anyways, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Hesitate.
I'm just making assumptions and throwing out options here. Because I doubt your mother was nearly as awful as your father.
I loved my mother. She used to do this thing when my dad got angry, and he seemed to calm down. But he would complain about magic in the house.
I know that spell. Serenity says that with fondness.
Out loud?
Yes. No, well, in the whisper.
In the whisper. Okay, I was making sure.
Assume everything is said in the whisper unless said otherwise.
Of course.
I know that spell intimately. I was a very angry child. Or I say child, but young adult, teenager. What does 18 count as?
Teen?
Young adult.
Teenager.
In the name, it says teen.
Depends on the age of counting. For in Elvish, it still is one of the infant years.
I mean, yeah.
What do you count for celestial descendants?
I don't speak Celestial.
She's a
How
fake
far does
smirk
this
on her
spies murmur conversation go, or is it just like a between the
literally
three
just
of
like-
you?
Between the three of them at the moment.
Yeah. You can pick and choose who you communicate with. It's just we've made a joke of people forgetting that it's on all as opposed to private.
You actually hear one of Aurelius's stupid thoughts through the murmur, forgetting that it's on. And it's just like, I wonder if a bird could throw another bird.
You hear
Without-
Artemis go, perhaps. It needs
Without
enough
hesitation.
velocity. Force.
Without hesitation, you're ready to go hawks dive at 200 miles an hour to take out pigeons. Yes, they can.
Yeetus
What?
deletus.
That's
And
not
then, and then
throwing
you hear
a bird.
vague, and then you hear vague Elvish as Artemis is doing a lot of mental math and mentally drawing things on the ceiling as she's staring at it.
I swear, once all this is done, I'm learning fucking Elvish.
And Fidget says that's okay. I'll just speak to everyone else in Orcish.
I'll kill you! That said out loud!
Aurelius kind of says quietly in Abyssal, then I'll just do this.
To be fair, we can't do that in public. Said back in Abyssal through the spy's murmur. It's very,
Artemis kinda
very
looks
bad.
Over at midnight. It gets very loud in the heads, doesn't it? Like she says it out loud.
He like just sighs and nods. Yeah.
Back to the conversation that's between Fidget and Tank and Serenity. Either way.
I like the thought that Aurelius continues talking in the moment, and then he fucking drops a hammer on his foot, and it suddenly cuts off when you hear a loud "fuck."
Either way, know the spell. Pretty much used to just cancel out most negative emotions. Mine was rage, so it seems like it works very well on anger.
Yeah.
But it only lasts about a minute.
Yeah, I found that part out too.
And you're sure I can't just kill him?
No, you can't just kill him. Because as much as I despise my father, I wouldn't do that to my mother.
You would be setting your mother free, considering.
He loves him.
Yes, and she's... Forgive me for the next words out of my mouth.
She put her life on the line to marry somebody as a bot and have not one but 2 kids.
I'm aware of what she did. I'm aware of what love is. I'm aware of what a toxic relationship is as well. Believe me, she fucking holds on to Fidget for this. I know what a toxic relationship is, and still being stupidly in love with the toxicity. Trust me, I know. You do
I
too.
do. Yeah, and you know what? As much as I hate my father, he was never like that to my mother. It was only me.
He still treated one of her children like this. I have never known a parent to choose their lover over their kids. Is that how I was raised? It happened back home where I come from. It is heavily looked down upon.
Yeah, well, my family name was already dragged through the mud before he started doing that. So, you know.
I don't care about your father's reputation. I just worry about your mother and yours relationship. Your father can jump on a pyre.
I haven't heard from her in the same amount of time I hadn't heard from my father or my little brother, who apparently went off to join the fucking clergy.
Actually, yes, that's something that I need to ask him about. Give me 1 second. Randolph! Slightly invasive, but it's a question because I'm curious and I need to know exactly how bad this might be. Do you know which clergy your son ran off to?
He pauses in hammering into the barricade, looks thoughtful. He doesn't look... He looks frustrated.
Please don't say Serenity Sword. Please don't say Serenity Sword.
I reached out to get their name, and they said that he had asked that they not give it to me.
Probably so that he's not trackable.
I simply
Is there
wanted to
chance?
know that he was safe.
Is there a chance that you know which direction he might have gone to start seeking the gods?
He kind of pauses, and it gives you this look that just seems to say he tried to drop off the face of the map and succeeded.
Oh, fair enough. Understandable. It's worth a shot at asking. Just looks at Fidget through the spies murmur, just goes, he has no fucking clue, so there's no information here.
Well, for the time being, he's helping us.
Oh, what, are you telling me to play nice like the dog I am?
You're not a dog. Just I'd rather not kill my father in the middle of everything else going on right now, because technically I'm still on trial because Iceberg ain't gonna contact anybody.
I think I'd look rather nice in a collar. Anyway, fair enough. So what do we do now, considering Mr. White Knight Hunter is in the room, and we're not getting relaxed in the slightest?
I'm pretty sure he and I need to actually talk, but at the same time, you've seen what happens when the two of us talk.
We all need to actually talk. He's a shit father. There's nothing you need to say to him.
I'd like answers as to why, and he hasn't told me in 30 years why.
Ah, so this is about closure.
Yes.
Would you like me to back you up as a guard?
I'm pretty sure I can handle him.
I'm not saying that.
No, I know what his injury is if he tries anything.
I'm not concerned for you. I just figure a slight intimidation factors, considering he seems slightly haughty of 2 versus 1 might help.
Oh, I'm not leaving the room. I'm just giving us a little space.
Fair enough. Alright, I'll go bother Aurelius.
I'm sure he won't mind.
He absolutely will. He's hopping around because he stubbed his toe. She starts walking towards Aurelius.
Fidget will move to stand next to Randolph.
Trinity, I will say, keeping an ear out for these two.
I just have one question, Dad. If you will be so nice as to at least answer one question for me.
Slams another nail in. And he just kind of leaves the hammer there.
Why Why didn't you want me? That's all I want to know.
Come with me. He walks to the other side of the warehouse.
She'll follow.
And he gets to a point where he just kind of sits down on one of the crates, pulls out a pipe, searches in his pockets for something, mumbling curses before he takes it and just kind of slaps it into his lap and before putting it away.
She'll sit down across from him.
Kind of runs his hand down his mouth in that exasperated kind of way. I can only imagine that you will say that I did everything wrong.
I want it from your point of view, not mine.
Your point of view does matter, whether I want it to or not.
Don't want to know why.
Why what?
You didn't want me.
And that's what I mean about point of view, Ned.
Like I said before, prove me wrong.
No, what you said was prove you wrong that I didn't show your brother more affection, more ease, I suppose would be a word for it. That I didn't show him favoritism.
Well, see, from the way I saw it, you stopped even acknowledging me as soon as Seth was born.
You remember how old you were?
13.
Yeah. You were a teenager. At what point was I supposed to stop coddling you?
If you call what you were doing coddling?
I call what I was doing, preparing you, and at a certain point, I couldn't hold you back from the world as it is. You would learn one way or another, whether I tried to teach it to you myself or whether the world would spring it on you without my guidance.
You know why I left, Dad?
He doesn't answer. He just kind of stares at you as though waiting to hear.
Because I had to beg you to even look at me. I had to beg for food in my own house. All I wanted was for my father to love me.
He doesn't answer immediately. He reaches for that pipe again, and it's as though somehow something will mysteriously appear there. Eventually, he just seems to be putting it between his teeth to bite on something. Just to hold.
So is this the end of the conversation?
Do you want it to be?
I'm waiting for your answer and I ain't getting one, apparently.
Still impatient.
Thought you'd actually have an answer for why you did that stuff by now. Not sure why you have to think about it.
No, I'm trying to remember if it was the year of the drought or not. If the ones who were going without were you and I. Trying to remember if it was a time where we had beasts come in and destroy some of our crops. That was a good adventure. In Corvin, I might have been among the best. I'm barely a halfway decent farmer. Barely. And I've made many mistakes. I can own up to that. You weren't a mistake. I always feared for you, though.
Why?
Because if you weren't strong enough, you would be taken. You would disappear, and even I might not be able to realize who was left behind.
You've lost me, Dad.
I can't explain it.
I've seen some rather weird shit since I've left Corvin. I might actually understand if you try.
I don't know that I want to try, because it is what ruined my name.
You mean there's actually more to the story than just leaving everybody behind?
There's always more to a story.
I never heard the whole story.
I didn't need you telling people, causing them to harm you more.
I was just trying to defend the Bowman name.
There's a faint smile on his lips as you say that.
That's why I always got into fights, is because somebody would badmouth you and Mom and
Did they deserve
would say
it?
something bad about my little. They were badmouthing you guys.
Did they deserve it?
Think so.
You think so?
But then you have to also take into account that my line of work, I was just a glorified bully. So.
Well, he gives like this almost half shrug. If there desire was to tear down our family when we're already as dragged down as we are. If I remember right, I told you, next time, go for the knees.
And that time I threw him into the water.
He nods, like respectfully, like, yeah, that was a good one. I remember that. I never punished you for those fights. Do you remember that? Or is that buried with the lack of love I showed?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Dad. Dantes might have done some stuff to mess with my memories, so I don't know what's true anymore.
There's a distinctive snapping sound.
Did he break his pipe?
And the pipe falls out of his mouth as he turns and he spits the end of the pipe onto the ground. He doesn't react more than that. His facial expression doesn't change. It's just that snap, and then he has it fall out of his mouth and just kind of
He wouldn't let me learn to read, even though everybody I worked with wanted me to learn. He made it so I wasn't getting paid, that I was being shown little respect, if at all. And he turned me into a weapon. I did things I don't remember, Dad. And to be honest, that's what happened when Teddy tried to kill me. I don't remember all of it. I just remember he had music, and then snapping out of it, and Teddy had me pinned to the ground with his sword through my shoulder, and I got mad.
he got mad.
Mad. And I kicked Teddy off of me. I beat him, but I didn't kill him. I took the necklace off of him, and then I ran. I ran so that I wouldn't do anything to the people that I worked with because I was still in town. I ran so there wasn't more tarnish to the Bowman name. I ran because I was a disappointment. And then Dantes starts spreading around that I killed Tedric, but Tedric's alive.
I'm aware. He's how I came here.
And there's a pause on...
Yeah.
And she looks at him going, "Did you try to kill my friends?"
I didn't know they were your friends. I only knew that they had the book that my other companion had wanted. The other person Tedric hired.
The man with the wolf?
Yes.
I am going to castrate Tedric the moment I see him.
I wouldn't. He's not like he's going to have progeny anyways. Man or woman, no one would look upon him with a bright smile. It's a D'Artes trait. And there's a faint chuckle.
She'll look up at him.
This is not where I anticipated wave break going.
What did you expect to happen?
I'll go find whoever had the locket, take it back. Get some better reputation. Finally get out from where I had been living. Find where your mother had run off to.
How long has she been gone?
Not too long. A year and a half, give or take, around the same time your brother left. Maybe a little longer.
You've been on the farm by yourself?
Yeah. It's been hard to keep the days straight sometimes. Seasons help.
Oh, I ran into somebody who knew you when you were younger, before you and Mom got married.
He squints a bit, just like,
He spoke very fondly of you, and that the memory I had was not the you that he knew. He goes by Godai?
His mouth hangs open lightly and just, like, leans back.
Did I say a bad name?
He's alive? I thought he
Technically?
dropped off the face of the world.
I mean, technically he is.
I guess that's good for him. I thought he died, honestly. I had not heard that name in a long time.
Was he part of your old group?
No, he was, he helped our group. He was, involved with a number of different magics, and he helped to outfit us on occasion. A crafter.
I'm aware of his crafting and magical nature, and she holds up her arms to show the bracers that she still to this day wears.
He, like, takes your hands and he looks them over, and there's a roughness to his touch.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you would expect, but it's... After having spent time amongst people who are more ruffians and brutes, there's coordination to it, purpose.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just, like, grabbing you and yanking you around. He's moving you in specific places so we can see specific parts of the bracers and look it over and run his hands across it as though in disbelief. There's a story to his hands. The roughness of it still showing that he has been on the farm for a while, but very specifically, his index and middle finger have calluses. The sort
Because
from
Archer.
Yeah, sort from him using a bow. Calluses that, when you last saw him, had not been nearly as built back up. there were still calluses there, but they had been let to heal a bit. And then apparently at some point he began building them back up. Began using the bow again. And then he leans back and he just shakes his head. That really is something.
I mean, it's kept me alive this long.
Good. Then he really is still alive. I kind of pauses and looks to where everyone's working. I'm sorry, I do want to finish this, but I also think that we should finish that before they arrive, and I don't want it to burn daylight.
I understand. Let's go.
He stands up, and he places a hand on your arm. It's
She'll
a little
pause
weird.
and look at him.
It's a little weird because normally he used to put his hand on your shoulder more often than not. Like that I'm proud of you sport sort of thing. But he puts it on your arm, and it's a gentler sort of touch. And he seems to struggle a lot.
Dad?
I know it's gonna be weird to say, but I do want to say I'm glad that I could still tell that it is you.
That is the most... You know what? No, I've actually already had issue with somebody being me.
What?
Somebody... I was told that one of my friends was attacked by somebody that looked like me, but their eyes were all wrong.
Who?
Serenity got attacked by them.
Turns and he marches over towards the door.
Sorry, Paris, I sent the protective father after you.
Bring it! You tried some shit, you about to be down a dad!
No, it's
he
not that kind of protective.
Oh, okay.
he moves up and he stands next to you, Serenity, and he looks like he's like getting ready to go back to work before he just kind of turns and he stares at you for a moment until you look back at him.
It's not too long before she's like, can I help you?
I was told that you saw someone who was and was not my daughter.
Copy, yes.
Can you describe them? With
Accepted,
assurance
like
that
we're-
it is not an illusion.
Pretty sure that wasn't an illusion, because No, I know for a fact it wasn't an illusion, because I picked the bitch up, and there was no difference.
Describe
Are
them.
we talking about the doppelgangers?
Yeah.
His eyes kind of glance over towards you. He seems to be waiting for you to elaborate.
The multiples. The ones that look like other people, but not quite.
Who else did you see? Who else?
Kendall is brain
Maxim.
farting.
Maxim, it
Maxim.
was Maxim.
It was a good moment as well.
It gave him reason to show panic.
Not panic, anger.
That works too.
A compatriot of ours, Maxim.
Looks over to Maxim. Maxim gives a little wave, just like, I'm staying away from meeting the dad. I'm over here. I'm fixing these windows over here. Fuck that business.
I'm not sure what else to say. He was in the crowd when we came to do the penguin man.
He moves over to the crate and just kind of like places his hands on it. After a moment, you see him just kind of collapse to his knees.
Dad! And she'll go running over to him.
And
Can I catch him before he falls?
No.
Oh
Dad.
boy.
He moved over to the
Dad.
crate. You're over there.
Dad!
Yep.
Dad! What is it?
You just hear him mutter very solemnly. Maybe I wasn't crazy. Maybe.
Unfortunately, Dad, you're gonna have to be more specific.
He shakes his head and just kind of... It's clear that he needs more of a moment to compose himself, because right now he is currently hitting Artemis levels of disassociating.
Oh,
She'll
boy.
recognize
have-
that right away. Oh no, she'll
we're
recognize
both
that
on
right
the
away and
floor.
walk away.
We
Yeah.
both
She'll
have
rec-
floor time.
Yeah,
We both have floor
getting-
time.
He's taking floor time. It's his turn
Yeah.
for the floor time.
Yeah,
Fidget
Artemis will
realize.
kind of look over at him, kind of like grab his wrist and tug him over to where she is for the floor time.
Yeah. Floor time.
Yeah, Fidget will very much recognize the signs and give them space. And she'll
Every
kind of
person I
like
talk
move
to
next.
suddenly disassociate.
Yes, Fidget will go and stand next to Serenity, kind of going, I think I broke my dad.
No, genuinely, almost every person I've talked to so far has had a mental breakdown within 5 minutes. What am I doing?
You? Nothing wrong.
Shame, Dad. I was hoping I could harness that. If I have some ungodly ability to suddenly cause people to have a meltdown, that's amazing for enemies.
Oh my god, I was drinking something. Why would you do that?
Tank just looks
I
between
regret
the two of
nothing.
I
you.
was drinking a soda, it hurt. Oh my god.
Tank just looks between the two of you and then leans closer to Fidget. She right.
What?
She right. Harness headache.
I mean, are you agreeing that she harnesses headache?
No, agree. It would be good. Would be good. Harness headache.
You do realize there's a way to do that for you guys, right?
Eh?
I'm popping a blood vessel.
No, it's called hitting somebody upside the head.
Yes, but this way I don't have to expend the effort or the resources.
It's
It's called being in a conversation with me for longer than 3 minutes.
I mean,
Right.
being fair, we've been at this for the last 18, and I'm pretty sure I'm still following you.
Hey, Amber.
Hi.
How long have you been here?
I've been here
How long
for the
have you
last
been here?
18 minutes, give or take. He's just been
Not
around.
you.
What? I've been here for a while. Have you not
You are
been
not
paying
surprised
attention?
by. That night, I am.
What, me or
You-
You
him?
are... Aurelius, you are a mousy little fella. I expect you to randomly pop out of the woodwork. I don't expect the armor to pop out of the woodwork.
I mean,
Uh,
it's good
Aurel-
armor.
Aurelius looks down, and he's just like, "This is leather."
It's
And
hide.
you have never been quiet before, regardless of whether you were naked or in full plate armor.
But that's because he's wearing
I-
hide.
But
Very-
Em-
but
Ember has
bad
the
joke.
biggest happy smile, just like eh.
You see Aurelius look over, and it's like, if that weren't funny, I'd just throw you across the room.
Oh, good.
Still do it.
Manhandling.
Aurelius
Ray
kind
just
of like
picks Ember up by the back of her shirt, like a fucking stray cat.
Aurelius looks at Serenity like a sad dog.
No, I
No,
want to
not
do that.
Aurelius. She's got Ember up. Oh.
Yeah, I don't care that he's still doing that.
He's like, no.
Why are you giving me those big eyes?
I wanted to do.
Oh my god.
I love this group. They're fun.
Artemis is going to jerk up into a seated position. She's like, maybe. Sorry, excuse me. She kind of climbs over
Randolph.
Fidget's dad to get back over to the book. Yeah, you keep saying Randolph. She's not gonna remember that. She's gonna
I'm
remember
saying
It's his
dad.
dad.
I'm just gonna start calling him Randy.
Okay.
You
No.
can call him Bowman.
No.
Call him Bowman.
She's gonna like flip through the book and she's gonna
Okay.
start looking for strings.
Where are you?
All right.
Like
all
threads.
right.
You know what? Yeah,
Make
I'm gonna
a
put down Ember.
intelligence perception check.
What?
I'm gonna put.
Oh yes.
Intelligence.
What?
I'll put down Ember. Pick up
Just-
Aurelius. Have him pick up Ember.
I'm sorry. Perception?
A perception check. If your intelligence is higher than your wisdom, use that.
My intelligence and my wisdom are the same.
Then just roll a perception check.
That'll do it.
Just roll around.
Ah, nat 20, 31.
Yeah. How many of those
Ooh,
have you rolled?
damn.
This is the second one.
Leave some for the rest of us. Jeez.
You
That's
rolled
'cause you-
another.
I did?
You swore you rolled one.
I
Not
didn't.
today.
This is the second one that I've rolled today.
Yeah, Artemis is the smart one today.
Artemis
Ah.
has the luck.
I rolled 2 16s. That's what you're
Yes.
trying to think.
Yes, good.
Artemis about to see through the fourth wall.
You see us all sitting in front of our computers rolling digital dice.
You see me playing fucking GeoGuessr in the background.
Stop playing GeoGuessr in the background.
I'm trying to guess the geos.
Oh, gosh dang
The
it.
fuck?
So you start looking for threads. And it's interesting because on the notes that you've taken, there's none. On the notebook that you have been translating it from, it's... You know Rubik's Cubes?
Yes.
You know the ones that have like 20 sides?
Yes.
Imagine looking at that, but it's the messed up version where you're like, if you can figure out where everything goes, perfect. But you gotta figure out how to make it get to where everything goes.
From where?
Exactly.
No, but where is it coming from?
The book.
Yes.
Within
Okay,
the
can
book,
she start
there's-
sorting?
Yeah, you can start sorting. It is going to take you a while. But the
Okay,
fact that
she's fine with
you
that.
you basically are able to look at it, and because you've been handling it so much, when you actually focus for the strings, you can see the strings immediately. It's just a matter of, again, piecing it all together and then either replicating it so you can remember it later or figuring out what that means.
Mm-mm.
Important detail unlocked. Artemis will remember this.
No, can you repeat that one more time? I'm still not comprehending.
So you're looking at what it is and you're realizing that all of the strings that you're seeing are like a scrambled Rubik's Cube. They don't all go from point 1 to point 2 cleanly. With the natural 20 here, I'll spell it out a little bit more plainly because of the natural 20. The book is out of order.
Does it look like it's been like rearranged by the spine if she starts looking closer at the book?
Now that you're looking for it, it looks like there was a new like sealant down the spine to put the pages reset the pages in place. Meaning that at one point these pages were not set the way they are.
Cool. Can I take one of the tools that I have with me and just
Pop it.
slice
Yep.
open the spine and start rearranging the pages?
So you just see just Artemis just like take the book, like just scramble over Randolph, take the book, start looking at it, basically flip out a knife, just pop up the spine, and then just like dump the pages on the ground and just start rearranging them real quick. Just rearrange. Sort by color, sort by school. So that's
She's
happening.
going by the what threads are telling her and just like mumbling to herself as she does it.
Gotcha. As you're doing that, that's cocked. That's. Oh wow! The disadvantage was lower. You hear a and you kind of jerk up for a second as you see a dagger whip past your face into something, and you hear it connect with something, and a couple seconds later, a tiny creature suddenly collapses, like maybe 5-10 feet from you. And you just see Randolph just like looking over, a dagger pulled from his sleeve as he just slowly looks around and then looks up towards the rafters as he just kind of mumbles, "They're sending spies." They're almost here. He pushes himself up slowly, walks over, picks up the Aurelius. You can identify this very immediately as a quasit that had been invisible. As he walks over, kind of like
an
tosses it.
invisible quasit?
Quasit, yes. A little imp creature.
Oh, I thought you were saying just like he was carrying a closet.
No.
Like casually.
He threw his dagger into a quasit. After, when she was like rearranging stuff, it made its presence known enough to him that he threw a dagger at it and killed it.
This a demon?
It is a demon, yes. Generally speaking, a quasit is a familiar of some sort. Quasit. They look like these. These motherfuckers.
Show me their faces.
That motherfucker.
They small?
Tiny. Like I said, they are familiarable. You can make them your familiar.
What would it take for me to walk up to it and just kind of like make sure it doesn't move?
It's currently dead. It had
well,
7 health, and the dagger did enough.
All right. If it's dead, then Aurelius is gonna inspect the creature inside and out and see if there's anything he can learn from it. Really.
Could be like dissecting a frog.
Kind of, yeah. But really, you've done this before in the Abyss.
It's more or less force of habit at this point.
Yeah, no, I understand. You looking it over, it has those eyes that always just the pure black and just soulless looking. You're aware that it has the ability to attempt to frighten creatures, to give it some room to escape. It is poisonous. Not poisonous, sorry. It is venomous. But not its teeth, unless it is shape changed. Generally, it has poison on its in its claws.
All right. So, would Aurelius have the skills to extract the venom?
Do you have a poisoner's kit?
Good question. Do I have a poisonous kit?
What? Can we have those?
You can have those, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Good
want
thing.
one.
Midnight has one, actually.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, it does not.
Yep.
I mean, he has an oil flask.
Yeah, that would be something that you could use as a receptacle if...
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to get, like, a whole receptacle of... flask full, but, like, you get a little bit. But you would need either poisonous tools or to make a wisdom check.
Okay. Because if he can't do that, the next thing he's doing is looking at the horns.
Of course. They're tiny little horns. They don't really do any like damage or anything like that. But you can make a wisdom check to try and get some poison.
All right, just straight wisdom.
Okay, make a con save.
No.
You want to know what was funny? You can't fail this. However, that's also a natural 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna add some funny shit to it anyway.
Yep. So you're trying to figure out a way to get the poison from this thing's claws, and you manage to like start to get it, and you poke yourself with it, like ow.
You actually hear Aurelius kind of mumbling to himself, "How the fuck did Oscar do this?"
And then you like keep turning it over in your hands. You poke yourself several times with this. Like people can just hear you going, "Ow, what the
Fuck!"
At this point, Serenity's approaching just for curiosity's sake.
So you just see him just poke. Fuck!
Stand back! It's venomous. Fuck!
What do you mean it's venomous?
Well, in its claws, it's venomous. Fuck!
Does it have glands?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where that is.
Midnight?
Let me see it.
Yes.
Midnight, can you take a look at it?
Sure. Midnight, Cha-Cha's real smooth slides over to you. Let me have a look, and please stop stabbing yourself.
Alright, I'm gonna take the horns though.
We'll get to the horns when we get to the horns. Relax.
Alright. Fuck. Jeez. He takes a step back, annoyed and shit.
He like as you do that, he takes a knife and he like just gently like cuts some of the skin back to slowly reveal some of it. And he just gently squeezes it into it's a very small little bottle, like maybe like more of an inkwell kind of size, very small. But he squeezes some of it in, enough for at least like 1 dose. He just kind of takes it, looks at it. This is pretty pathetic. That being said, corks it. You can use it as an ingredient to make something better. So, would you like it? Offers it to you, Aurelius.
Aurelius gestures over to Artemis. She'll probably
I would
find a
like
use
it.
for it.
He hands you 1 dose of quasit venom.
And
How do you
the
spell that?
Let me pull up the spelling for you.
Because I don't know how to words.
Words are
words
hard.
are hard. Get out of my head.
Listen, I have a
is
time
very
sheet here. I'm
interesting to
allowed.
This is very interesting to just watch.
Quasit.
Can I
spelled it
submit this
right.
about this?
Huh?
I spelled
Can I
it right.
submit this? Good.
Victims about this? Ah, look, it's a little shit.
That's helpful.
Those things are like, you step on them and they make a loud squealing noise as they die.
So an imp.
Imps have dignity. Imps are respectable. Quasits are bugs.
Are you sure that's not just the bias talking?
I'm allowed. Imps are
That's not an ad-
respectable. Quasits are
is-
bugs.
Is Serenity saying this out loud?
You see her head tilting usually in the way that it does when she's speaking to Evictus.
Okay.
But not allowed.
Alright.
So Evictus hates imps. Not imps. Quasits.
I was about to say! Don't slander me like that.
Weren't you making a deal with a demon not too long ago?
Hmm?
Weren't you making a deal with a demon not too long ago?
Me?
The locket?
I wasn't making a deal. I was making an arrangement.
You say potato and I say potato. It's all roughly the same vegetable. But sure.
But yeah, as this is happening, Aurelius is just gonna like pop off one of the horns, hand it to Artemis, and be like, "This can be crushed down into whatever you need it for, and this one, hold on to as a backup."
Okay. She stuffs them in her bag and continues to rearrange the pages.
He looks around, half expecting people to think that what he's doing is really fucked up, and then he remembers he's not with normal people.
I was about to say, I'm like, honey.
He's like, huh.
It's weird
So-
when everyone's as weird as you, ain't it?
Yeah. Anyway, and then Aurelius pulls out a flask of holy water and pours it onto the demon, and just walks away. All right, that's dealt with.
Wait, can I see that real quick?
Nope. He bottles it up and puts it away.
Why? What do you think I'm going to do with it?
Drink it.
No!
Look, you're a holy being. I assume the only thing you can drink is holy water.
What?
You see an
First of
evil
all-
grin on his
He's
face.
so intelligent.
Give me that bottle. Don't encourage him. Give me that bottle. I want to see
Nope.
something.
It's mine.
Please? I just need a drop. She's giving him big eyes now. Please, for me.
Get your fucking own.
How?
Get a flask, get some water, bring it to me. I'll do some wishy-washy arcane shit. Boom. Holy water. He
She hands
says
him a
all like...
flask.
He spits on it and it becomes holy.
Achoo.
I don't believe you.
You just gotta
Wait.
have a little faith.
I think that sneeze was in character.
So hang on. Wait, I literally trained in the clergy. I know you're full of shit.
You see Aurelius, just gotta have a little bit of faith.
You know what? I'm about to have a little bit of faith in that I can keep you on board until I can wrestle that flask off you. How about that?
I'm gonna pretend I understood half the words that came out of your mouth.
Excellent. So you understand what's happening. She puts him in an arm bar.
No, as in I genuinely had no idea what the fuck you just said.
Then I'm gonna have faith in the fact that I can keep you in an arm bar long enough to take that flask from you.
Hold up, let me just look up what an armbar is.
She has her arm around your neck.
Oh yeah, no, that shit's easy to break out of. You just gotta know the right techniques.
Oh. Done.
What?
I've been held by demons.
She seems actually thrown off when you call her hun. Alright, that's it. It's happening on principle. Get your little ass over here.
No, it isn't, and he throws it to Ember.
Amazing.
Good luck catching her.
Runs over.
Hey, Amber, I have special makeup from Cormundum if you give me that flask.
Vanity from me and you? Girl, we're still trying to barricade the door so I can live long enough to see my pretty face in a mirror. Get on the windows.
Remember, wax on, wax off.
She just starts dragging him to the window. She's not let go of him.
The whole time, Aurelius is like evil smile.
You're such a bastard.
Technically, I'm not, actually. I don't know what I am. Adopted. I'm adopted, that's what I am.
Be a bastard and adopted.
Yes, but I'm not sure if that is true or not. Whether or not I am a bastard. I don't know much about my parents. He just got...
He's like sitting thinking now.
Ember peeks her head out from behind a box. Fuckers!
I
Windows! Now!
broke him! Look at him! He looks confused! It's like a puppy when you
Artemis
ride a
is going to look
ball.
over at the windows.
Most of them
I-
are
I-
already boarded up properly, but she's clearly trying to be like, hey.
Asshole.
Yes.
If you care so much about the windows, why don't you do something about it?
I am!
You're
By
doing it
hiding
beautifully.
over... I mean, yeah, you are, but that's not the point.
She opens a crate, pulls out a few things, and heads to another window.
I knew it! She's smiling at him now. What are you
What?
going to figure out? You have a torch for the little firebug. When are you going to deal with it?
Aurelius has this dumbfounded look on his face. He's never heard that expression before.
You have a crush on Ember. When are you going to deal with it? Don't say I don't know what you're talking about.
He doesn't say anything.
I'm starting to learn your habits. So come on, out with it. When are we
Just-
dealing with this?
Just keep walking. He said.
You know, if I keep walking, you're coming with me and you're still suffering.
I'm counting on it.
Do you like it that much?
Just keep walking, he says as he unbottles his oil flask.
Why are you opening the oil? Like, out of all the things you could possibly do to disconcert her, you opening the flammable liquid is the one.
Yes, that's the part you should be worried about, the flammable part. He starts pouring the oil on the ground behind you.
The fact that it doesn't touch my feet and that you're making a trail makes it, in fact, more terrifying that it's flammable.
My
Why?
brother in Christ. Oil is slippery.
Yes, she's aware of this. Oh, you're fucking making her walk laps, so fucking trap.
Mhm.
Why not use grease?
I don't have grease on me, do I?
I don't know. You just pulled a fucking bottle of holy water out your ass.
I can pull a lot of things out of my... He pulls out a manacle.
Why do you have that?
Same reason I have this. He pulls out a fucking... a fucking mirror.
He's got Link's hammer space bag.
It's all hidden in the cloak.
Is that what that is? Is that?
No.
Is that why
No,
my teachers are
seriously.
pulling random shit out? Oh my god!
You see him pull the cloak back, and that genuinely has like a few different compartments on it. Where do you
How
think
big
I
are-
put everything? I don't have pockets.
First of all, we need to get you some pants and pockets. But second of all, I don't know. You and Audie are the magically inclined. I just assume at this point you pull it out of thin air.
Actually, I pull it out of my ass.
Yeah, that one's true. I've seen her do it.
Serenity looks like she wants to say something desperately, but keeps her mouth shut.
Aurelius just does not take her eyes off her evil smile.
No, not to Aurelius, to Artemis.
No, she's working in conjunction with Aurelia, so it's to both.
You know what? Fair enough, actually. You're both imps. Both of you.
I'm offended that you'd call me an imp.
Little
Is this a short
mischievous
joke?
thing. No, you're mischievous and evil.
I am not
Do
evil.
you have a type?
Oh my god.
I'm aware. And so does Evictus, it seems.
Well,
What?
look,
You're the reason that I'm into this! She, like, points to her own head.
Aurelius just kind of like tilts his head, and it's like, I don't know how Evictus can like me. I have like demon shit going on.
Yeah, but he's
Combined
fighting
with
it.
the descendant of an angel. Do you really think he cares that you used to be a paladin?
No, it's more the demon part that.
I mean, he knows you yourself are not a demon, so it helps.
Yeah, but every time I do this, and he like touches your fucking head.
Trying to forget that it's like a fucking buzzer.
Yeah, see my point?
I love the fact that you make it muffled now. It's no longer him just twitching. It's very, very muffled. Oh my god, you keep him silent. She just holds on to Aurelius tighter.
So many fucking noises.
Aurelius
She's gonna
will
continue dragging Aurelius around to make a fucking parameter boil.
Aurelius will break out of the hold and be like, is it like an actual defensible perimeter that's just happened? Or is it just like a shitty one?
It make a because you've had multiple people helping, make a, I want to say, intelligence check with, because you had at least 5 people on and off helping, plus 10.
So that plus 10 is 16.
It's serviceable, but it could definitely be a lot better.
Yeah, no. Aurelius is like, okay, we're gonna need some like ambush sites here. He starts mumbling to himself and he's like, alright, I got this. He immediately walks off and starts like setting up traps around where the oil has been spilled.
It's definitely
Basically,
going to be a problem of time.
Basically, what he's doing is he's trying to block off pathways to kind of force them down choke points. It's difficult, but he's trying.
He's doing a try.
How successful is he?
That's more questionable. So, in the meantime, Tank just kind of looks to Fidget and is like, they're always like this?
Yep. Always like this, though they've gotten a little worse since they started dating.
This is less.
I said worse.
Oh, they gotten worse. Oh, I was about to... Ugh.
I feel offended!
I like it, but at the same time, that's a lot. They do this all the time?
It's how they are. It's how they are. It doesn't mean you gotta be... If that's what you're worried about.
I don't know if I could keep up the energy.
You think I can?
More than me.
Okay, to be fair, once we first started, traveling together, Serenity was with Artemis, and the moment they showed any form of PDA, even just a kiss on the cheek, I was running out of the room. So...
Oh.
You're fine. Do you not think I would be that bad?
I mean, no.
Didn't exactly have a good example of what that was supposed to be like, and it felt weird that it wasn't like what I was used to.
Fair enough.
Were you asking for a certain reason, Tank?
No, definitely not. No. Just getting used to the things.
In the background, you see Artemis throw something vaguely at Maxim.
Have you talked to him yet? Or are you waiting until all of this is over?
More of the waiting till it's over.
You do realize not all robes are bad people, right?
No.
Do you trust my opinion and how I am around him?
Of him?
Is it that difficult, big guy?
I can trust you as much as I want. That does not.
But I'm saying my
Alleviate.
opinion towards him.
That does
Does
not
that help shape?
alleviate. No.
That is all I was asking. And I understand. And I'm not going to push it any farther than this. I'm just going to ask, and that was it. You've got something on your mind, don't you?
Nothing worth bringing up for the time being. How's the... Kind of looks over to the barricade. I thought we fixed that. Did we not fix that?
We can go fix that.
He's going to try and help fix some of the initial problems with the barricade.
And while Fidget helps, she'll kind of, in Orcish, explain to him the conversation she had with Randolph.
He doesn't look happy about it. I don't think he should look happy about it.
No, it wasn't one of those things that she was hoping he'd be happy about. It's more filling him in on the situation.
No, of course.
And with that, I will be right back.
No worries. Is there anything you wanted to do, Paris?
I can't think of anything, but surprise me if you want.
Anything you wanted to do, Aurelius?
Yeah, can I order a vanity repair tomorrow morning at like 8? No, I have no fucking idea.
I get some chicken nuggets.
Can I get
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, 1 with cheese, 1 with extra dip, 2 number 47s, and a large soda.
Would you like it with or without the number 42?
42 is optional.
That's what I'm asking. Do you want the 42 or no?
Well, it's optional, isn't it?
Yeah, it's optional. Do you want the option or not?
Oh, look, it is the answer to life, universe, and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want it or not?
Look, I have no life, so no.
Alright, no 42. Got it.
Alright,
Anything you wanted to do, Artemis?
joking aside, what would I do to see how quickly Aurelius can figure out the rest of the, quote, siege and get what he can done?
Because of the initial start, I'll say roll another intelligence check. This one is only with a +5.
Oh, Lord.
Much better.
Yeah.
You can see a lot more of the... It's like, the calculations, I can see some of it. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix this.
You know how Artemis was, like, tracing, like, Elvish in the air? I imagine you see Aurelius, like, with the fucking, like, maths and equations all around his head, fucking Sherlock style.
Amazing.
And then he's like, okay, we need this, and he just starts he puts on a hard hat and just starts being a foreman, I guess.
These guys need a chalkboard.
Pretty much.
Fucking nerds.
I'm cleaning in the background, so if I'm away from keyboard for a little bit, that's why.
Mm-hmm. I think.
So,
Excuse me.
Okay, go.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
I lost a thought.
Oh no, bring it back.
I was gonna ask if Aurelius was done. Out of character. If it was my turn yet, or if we were still on Aurelius.
It's your turn.
Sorry, I said I'm walking away to do some cleaning in the background.
Do what you gotta do,
Okay.
Yep.
Artemis is going to continue working on the book, but she's probably going to take a break to give her brain like a second.
man.
And look over the barricade like really quickly.
Okay. With your high passive perception, it's not super strong.
Is there any way she could reinforce it?
You would need to change where some of the boards are placed or to add more boards. Effectively, you just need to hammer them in place.
Yeah, she would pass on that knowledge to someone that has more strength than her.
Probably Serenity and Tank.
Like, she'd tell Tank and they'd...
And then Fidget would get
Right.
involved, and then everyone would just start working around.
Yeah, and then she'd get back to the book and continue to rearrange it until she gets done with it, because she's kind of hyperfixated.
Completely understandable.
I have the worst feeling that this book is going to do something to her brain, and it becomes legible.
Don't worry about it yet.
It does.
I'm going to give it a little bit of time for Mary to get back. Because I do feel like it would be...
I only
Oh,
that I
you're
was
back.
back in the chat.
Right before the intelligence check. That's probably why I missed it, because I was juggling some stuff. No worries. On that note, as you are hearing outside the shambling march of undead, I'd say that is a good point to end session. And pick back up with what is outside and what you guys will plan to do from there. That sound good?
Okay.
All right. In which case, that will be all for the moment, at the very least. That's a lot of fun. I fucking love you, fucking guys. You guys are. Oh my gosh, I laughed so much. I miss you guys.
Yeah.
We're too fucking chaotic.
It's great, but
We share a single brain cell, and we use it ping pong.
it's great.
That's one way to put it.
Yes,
Bing bong.
It explains the brain damage.
of course. On that note,
Which one?
for those who are watching with us, thank you all so much. We appreciate it quite a bit. If you are wanting to watch these live, we stream them Mondays around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/WhatTeamComp. And then we post these to YouTube at my channel of Uncommon Guru, generally with the tag Cormundum Chaos attached to it in the playlist, where you can find all 47 current videos. 46 currently, 47 is this one. And yeah, thank you so much again. This is always a delight and a pleasure. I love I love being your DM, guys, and I hope that I'm doing good with what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But thank you all so much for the time that you're sharing with us. And until next time, we've been WhatTeamComp. We'll see you all later. Bye bye.